What the fuck? Ah, says we're live. Cool. I have had zero luck connecting to the VPN last couple of days, so I haven't been going live. But looks like I'm live now, so how about a little live jive on the drive at 5? And it actually is 5 o'clock. It's 5:43 p.m. Beijing time. And I am headed home. The reason I wanted to go live right now is because I wanted to show you guys this view out the window. This is what Beijing looks like on a clear day. So there it is there. Much nicer, right? I don't know if I can zoom in. Yeah, I can zoom in. Well, when you zoom in, you can still see the smog and the distortion. But for the most part, it looks pretty good, right? Looks pretty good. There's a little bit of blue in that sky. Motherfucker. Just snaked in front of someone. Motherfucker. That's what happens. I'll be creeping while you sleeping. You back there sleeping at the wheel. Fucking blame me. Yeah, so this looks pretty good. It's blown out. Hey, come on now. What's going on? It says I can write a message. I don't want to write a message. It looks kind of blown out because of the backlighting, but that looks pretty nice right there, huh? That is our skyline. I like the little torch they got there. So I wanted to chime in on a situation. I saw someone post an NBC article. That's right, some news slipped through my filter, my 90-day filter, and it said, stop, or YouTube's doing it too, stop the anti-Asian hate. And I thought, what the fuck? Come on now. There ain't no anti-Asian hate. Nobody be hating on the Asians. And I've seen articles and I've read a little bit, and they're trying to tie it back to the China virus. And because Trump said the China virus, that he's to blame for all the anti-Asian hate. And it just ain't true. One guy I know here on Facebook posted a video where this dude it's in New York City, and this dude kicks an Asian gal, and she's like almost 70, I guess, like 68, something like that turns out, and he boots her really hard, like gnarly hard. And then he kicks her like 2-3 times in the head, and I was thinking, fuck, I'm surprised he didn't break her neck and kill her. You know, then he'd be murder. He'd be guilty of homicide. And they showed the dude on the CCTV. They had caught him, and dude looked like he was an Arabic, like Egyptian maybe, or Middle Eastern, but he definitely had a black feel to him. He was like a black Arab. And I thought, every single anti-Chinese or anti-Asian hate video that I've seen, it's always blacks on Chinese. And so what point are you trying to make? Because they keep trying to tie it back to white supremacy, but it's got nothing to do with white supremacy. It's American ethnic minorities, immigrants on ethnic minorities. So it should be like, stop the immigration. You fucking try that one time. And quit trying to tie this shit back to whites, because we got nothing to do with that. I've never seen a person act like that, especially a white person. And all the violence I saw, it was all black motivated. I'm not saying it's black people, and I'm not saying it's black Americans. I'm saying it was dark folks, Arabs, Africans, Somalians. I don't know, but it's dark folks. It's not American folks. Homie looked like a New Yorker, but he didn't look like an American. Americans don't behave that way. You shouldn't behave that way. And if that's the way they're behaving now, fuck me, man. That's crazy shit. He really hurt that girl, and I don't understand why anyone would do that. I live in China. I'm not racist. Certainly I'm a bigot and biased occasionally. Everybody is. I get more racial profiling here in China than anywhere else I've ever been in the world. And it's because I'm white. There's some anti-white racism, but the news article shouldn't be it's anti-Asian hate, because it's not. It's a fucking asshole. Some asshole, an Arab that kicked the girl. And I'm not saying it's Arabs are all predators, which a lot of times they tend to be. I mean, they have a very different culture to Americans and a very different culture to Chinese. I'm a bit of a China expert. I've been here 20 years in Beijing. So at least Beijingers, I can speak for Beijingers. And they might get into an argument where like they yell and shit and yell louder and louder and louder, but they don't pull no fucking violent shit and hurt people and nearly break their fucking neck by kicking them 3 times in the fucking head. That was bullshit. And why does it have to be about race? Why do they have to hand fucking pick, cherry pick this one example of an Arabic Negro kicking a fucking Asiatic in the head and then trying to tie that back to whites? Really upsetting, really upsetting. And it's just plain ignorant. So, I mean, I don't know what to say about it. I've been trying to avoid news as best I can, but it seems like y'all in the States are just going to keep playing the racism card, no matter how clearly non-racist and that it's not a racially motivated crime. I mean, how can an Arabian Negro be racist toward an Asiatic? I had a Chinese dude, half Chinese, half American, tell me, because there was, I thought, some bias towards a white folk, and he said, you can't be racist towards whites, they have privilege. And I said, okay, so if you're an Arabic or a Negro or a Mongoloid or a Levantine, then if you're any one of those races, you can't be racist towards a Caucasian. Is that correct? And he said, yeah. He said they might be, he worded it in other words. I don't remember exactly his argument, but I read like 3 or 4 articles that he sent me. And the main argument is that any crime or hate directed at whites is not racism, no matter what. If you're other than white and you're motivated by racial hate towards the whites, then that's not considered racism. So, correct me if I'm wrong, then an Arabic attacking an Asian cannot be considered racism. And it can't be considered anti-Asian hate, right? So, y'all need to check your fucking terms and figure that shit out, because it seems like BS to me. Number one, it doesn't seem like a racially motivated attack. An Arab attacking a Chinese? I don't know. Maybe he's a terrorist, right? The way he fucking kicked that woman in the gut and then kicked her in the head 3 or 4 times, that was some terrorizing shit right there. Homeboy's a fucking terrorist. So when 90% of them are terrorists of a certain racial profile, that's not racism, that's statistics. You need to figure out the difference. All right, that's all I got to say on that note. On a happy note, though, back to happy shit. Good fucking weather, man. Who'd have thunk it? It seems like they clean up the weather Monday through Thursday. And then when the weekend's about to roll around, then they just, I don't know, turn on the factories, I guess, or whatever, and let all the fucking shit pollution out so we can't enjoy our weekend. I don't know how that makes sense, but it seems to be that way. Obviously, that's a logical error in causation on my part. But when you got nice weather, man, you roll the windows down, try to leave work a little early if you can. You know how Frank Monday rolls. Rolling out there, be like, see you later. They'd be like, why are you leaving early? Early? What you talking about? It's late, baby, real late. You know, nice weather, driving in traffic ain't even so bad. I had one of my students argue with me today, and she said, what do you think, blah, blah, blah. I'm not that racist. And I said, so you are a little racist. Obviously, I didn't say that. But she said she wasn't that racist or that big of a bigot. And I thought, good, I'm glad you're telling the truth. I'm glad part of your, somewhat of your argument is racially motivated against me because I'm white. You know, of course you're gonna feel that way. Your country's 99% Chinese. The whites are gonna be curiosities, you know? Like in the United States, I grew up in Los Angeles, and at the time, LA was only about 1% Chinese. You know, now it's probably about 50% Chinese. But, you know, then Chinese folks would be an ethnic curiosity. And there's nothing wrong with being curious about other people's customs and culture and ethnicity. That's not